March is International Women's Month. In the past few weeks, we've been talking to women from different fields who have shared their stories of inspiration and empowerment. This morning, we'll talk to a woman who's stepping out of her father's shadow and is making a name for herself as a venture capitalist. Aside from that, she's also known in and out of the country as a DJ. But what sets Katrina Razon apart is her advocacy and commitment to protect the environment. And she joins us live right now. Good morning, Katrina.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you back on New Day. Okay, you wear so many hats. You're like the ultimate millennial multi-hyphenate, right? You do so many different things, but you really have a heart for the environment. How did that start?
Across the world, we produce 300 million tons of plastic a year, out of which 8 million tons end up in the ocean. And the Philippines, together with 4 other Asian countries, account for 60% of the plastic pollution that enters our waters. And as the plastic pollution crisis continues to worsen, there are more whales, dolphins, seabirds, and other fish that end up washing up on shore with plastic in their stomach. In fact, 2 days ago, there was a news story about a whale that was washed up on shore in the south of the Philippines, where marine biologists uncovered 88 pounds of plastic waste in its stomach. And if we keep on going at this rate, there will be more plastic in the ocean than fish by weight in the year 2050. And now, as a result, the only solutions that we see are if large corporations and governments take accountability by reducing plastic production globally.
Yeah, it's really not one of the lists that we're proud to be on the top of, right? But for you personally, what triggered this love for the environment in you? What was the trigger that said, okay, this is where I'm going to focus a lot of my efforts?
I grew up in the Philippines, and naturally I fell in love with the rich marine biodiversity that we have in the country. And throughout the years, I would continue to visit the beaches that I grew up visiting in the past, and would notice the growing rate of plastic waste that would wash up in the coral reefs around the sea turtles that I would typically swim with. And it's really in these beaches that you realize the devastation of our overconsumption, dependency, and mismanagement of plastic waste.
Yeah, well, like I said, you do many things. One of them is head the Wonderfruit Festival. This happened in Thailand in December, and we've been hearing a lot of positive things about this. Tell us about the festival and what it hopes to accomplish.
Wonderfruit is a celebration of the arts, food, music, and ideas to catalyze positive impact. And what I mean by that is we ensure that the festival is carbon neutral, meaning that we offset our carbon emissions by investing in reforestation projects. And we invite architects to create sustainable stages made out of bamboo, and invite leaders across the world, from marine biology to environmentalists, to share their stories and how we as a collective consciousness can be better consumers and better people for the world around us. And we love to celebrate cultural diversity, and being in a unique position in Asia and truly celebrating the regional's talent is something that puts us in a unique position in the festival market.
And how often are you planning to hold the festival?
We host it annually, so once a year, typically in the second week of December.
Okay, are you going to have it here in the Philippines?
Well, we have plans of scaling and expansion in the future, but for now we're concentrating all of our efforts in that one weekend of the year.
Okay, now, like I mentioned earlier, you're a DJ. You've been one for over a decade now, and you know, that's usually a very male-dominated industry. What was it like for you to break into that scene? And even now, if you've been there for a while, how do you continue to make a name for yourself?
When I first started out DJing in the Philippines, I think that a lot of people here, including a lot of the commercial club promoters, viewed us as a novelty, as a sort of gimmick. But it was interesting to see, because as a woman, you face a lot of obstacles across every kind of industry. Historically, the music industry has sexualized, belittled, and patronized women. And throughout my career, not solely in the Philippines, but around the world, we've been discriminated against and underpaid. But now, seeing the growth of women entering the music industry, I think that promoters and event producers hold a responsibility to give opportunity to those talented women and non-gender conforming musicians to perform. And why I gravitated toward the underground dance music scene is that it's a scene built on inclusivity. And inclusivity doesn't just solely mean all is welcome, but it means that we have each other's back. And we practice a serious degree of empathy when discussing problems we all face.
Amazing. And music brings it all together as well.
Of course, music is meant to break down barriers that usually keep us apart.
So how are you promoting equality for women in your field? And I don't mean just DJing, but in the world of venture capitalists and the other businesses that you engage in.
When it comes to gender parity, the music industry and private equity industry are embarrassingly lopsided still. Although we all recognize the amazing contributions that women make in both industries respectively, I believe that if we have more women in positions of power, then that's when we could truly see transformational change. And how I love to personally contribute to this passion of mine is by hiring more women, booking more women artists to perform at both Wonderfruit and all my other musical projects in the Philippines. Because if you create more lineups that are more exclusive to women, you create a better ecosystem for all. And even though 8% of venture funding backed women-founded businesses, that still needs to change. And I prefer to find women that I can back who start businesses on their own, because it is much more challenging. And what a lot of people need to realize is that feminism isn't about girl power, it's about equal power.
Yeah, beautifully said. So what advice can you give women who are just starting, or women who are experiencing setbacks in their careers or their businesses?
When you're setting out to start something new or off the beaten path, there is no better advocate than you. And I think Maya Angelou said it best herself. Each time a woman stands up for herself, she stands up for every woman. And no matter what people will tell you, you are enough, and don't let anyone else make you feel otherwise.
That's beautiful. Now, for you personally, you could easily become, a very relaxed heiress and just, enjoy life and sit on a boat all day. Why do you choose to do all of these things?
I think that coming from a background in which I grew up in the arts and being exposed to a lot of business ventures coming from my family, I felt that I have a responsibility to create opportunity wherever I go. It's not just about the numbers, but when you create a more inclusive environment for women, you end up creating a better world for all.
Definitely. All right. Thank you so much. Lovely chatting with you, Katrina Razon.
Thank you so much.
Visit us again soon.